Hey guys, and welcome to Should You Buy It, where all we do is talk a little bit about the game and tell you whether or not we think it's worth the cost. In this episode, we'll be playing Nordhold, a roguelike tower defense where you must build a city, grow your economy, and strategically place towers in order to hold off the incoming invaders. The first question that we always cover in these videos is what stage of development is the game in? In this case, Nordhold is fully released and available on PC via Steam for about $20. However, it's important to mention the game has been going on sale for $15 lately, so do keep an eye out for it if you're looking to save some money. But what exactly is the game? Well, Nordhold is first and foremost a tower defense game, but it combines both city builder and roguelike elements to create a truly unique experience within the genre. Let's start out by talking about Nordhold's city building system, as it plays a critical role in every other element of the game. You'll start out each run with a few resources and a few workers. You can assign those workers to different buildings that you unlock through spending more resources in order to have them gather resources for you. For an example, in the beginning, you'll probably be assigning workers to woodcutting and farming so you can increase your economy. The city, however, has quite a few different buildings for you to unlock and use. For an example, you can build a statue that buffs some of your towers, unlock passive upgrades in order to increase your income, or my personal favorite, you can sacrifice one of your workers in exchange for some extra power at an altar. All in all, there is quite a few different options here for you, but it all focuses on making it easier for you to survive the following waves of attacks. This is done via buffing your towers, making you able to build more towers, or simply just leveling those towers up with the resources that you have available. When it comes to the actual tower defense system, you will eventually have access to up to 8 different types of towers, each of which have their own specialty. In the start, you will have basic arrow towers, but eventually you can get towers that slow, that snipe, that curse, or even towers that just empower your other towers. In each and every run, you will continue to unlock more upgrades through the game's roguelike system though, so you'll have a sense of progression. The way this works is that each wave you beat, you will essentially be given a special currency that allows you to unlock permanent buffs. For an example, you could increase your starting resources like wood, stone, or gold. There are some that are much more in depth, however, like the game's outpost system, which allows you to build special towers in the battle area that will gather resources for you instead of attacking enemies. Either way, this gives you quite a bit of content to unlock, explore, and dive into throughout your time playing the game. The replayability won't stop there though, as there are procedurally generated maps, random banner buffs, relics, spells, and random heroes, each with their own way of changing how you play the game. This means that from one run to another, the odds of you being able to go for the exact same strategy are gonna be pretty low. Finally, I feel it's very important here to mention that the game has an endless mode and a seasonal system. So if you want to push for the highest score possible on the leaderboards, or you just want to come back every once in a while to try out the game's new twist in gameplay, there will almost always be a reason for you to play. Alrighty, now let's move over to the pros and cons section for the video. First step for the pros is the game's progression system. Thankfully, this game has a consistent sense of progression, so every time you play, you're gonna be able to unlock more things that feel meaningful and impactful to your next run. I can tell you right now, from doing my first run to doing my 30th run, there is a huge difference in the way I played the game, and it felt like there was a massive power difference even going from run 1 to 2 or run 28 to 29. Next is that the game has great replayability. The reason for this is that there's lots of procedural and RNG elements available to you. Every run is going to feel different because you'll have different banner options, different routes for the enemies to attack you from, different heroes, different relics for you to unlock, and even more. Finally, for the pros is that the game has a surprising amount of depth and strategy to it. This comes from the fact that the game gives you the ability to create different tower targeting options, such as targeting the highest health or lowest health enemy with almost 15 different options or so for you to pick from. It also gives you a different way to build your economy each and every time for the order in which you build your buildings, even once they're all unlocked. and you get different things constantly being thrown at you, so you're going to have to adapt. That means that if you like strategy games or you like tower defenses, this just adds more depth to those options. Alrighty, now let's move over to the cons section of the video. First up for the cons is that the game currently has a lack of enemy variety. Yes, there are some differences between the different monsters, like some have shields, some heal enemies around them, some are just bosses, some die and split into smaller, faster moving enemies, but I would love to see maybe a little bit more depth here, just adding to the variety of what an enemy actually does and making it so that the game requires you to adapt even more from run to run. And the last con I have is that the city building is really just kind of an upgrade tree and not a true city builder. I think this would be much cooler if they did it like other colony sims, like say RimWorld for an example or something like that, where you would actually have to build a city and change things in the shapes. Whereas right now when you build a structure, it's just selecting to unlock the structure via the resources and then upgrading that structure into different things, like saying producing more wood, producing more gold, unlocking stronger towers or tower upgrades, etc, etc. So now it's time for the rating for the game. And when we rate games, we want to get 1 hour of enjoyment out of every $1 that the game costs. So for this game in particular, in Nordhold, we would want to get 20 hours of enjoyment out of the $20 cost of the game. And after playing this game, we give it 8 out of 10 potatoes. Nordhold was one of the most unique roguelike games I've ever played. I mean, there are few, if any, other roguelikes that are also a tower defense game that I can even think of. That's not to mention the fact that Nordhold also has a seasonal system where mechanics change, such as Season 2, which has just come out and changed the banner system altogether. Either way, it's clear to see that the devs have put a lot of thought and care into their game to make it a one-of-a-kind unique experience. And therefore, we feel that it's definitely worth the cost. Before you guys go, I do want to give you a quick thank you for watching the video. Like it if you liked it, dislike if you didn't, and share if you've got some friends that might be interested. Thank you all so much for watching once again. I'm Game Advisor, and I'll see you in the next one.